All right, another kit. What is this one? I don't know. It's made in China. 2042. Okay. It looks like, looks suspicious. It looks suspicious. Let's get it onto a tray. Remember that story? God, this is a couple years ago now that, I think it was a high school kid, like a Middle Eastern high school kid, and he brought a Radio Shack clock into work, or into school, and they thought it was a bomb, and oh well. This looks like a clock. So don't take this to school. You might get kicked out. I don't know where we're having that kid. I think he left the country. He decided that, heck with this place. I know EEV blog did a thing on him. Poor kid. He had a NASA t-shirt on and everything. He was just a nerd. Oh my gosh. And the principal didn't know enough about nerds. It definitely looks like a clock. It looks like a microprocessor-based clock. Very, very boring. But the price is right, so let's build it. Another EQ kit. Man, they're busy, man. These EQ kit guys. All right. We have colons too. Individual LED colon. Very nice. And some LEDs. Got some resistors. All the components of a nice bomb-making clock. Okay, let's get it built. I think I had a copy of, what was it? James Bond Guide to, what was that? It was an underground publication of domestic terrorism. How to build, how to make napalm, how to use primacord. I don't know, all kinds of crazy stuff. Some wacko in my hometown wrote it, of course. Anyway, let's see what we got here. What should we do first? What should we do? Resistors. Always put down the resistors first. These are all 1K resistors except that one. Oh, wait a minute. We got a couple other ones here too. We have a 2K. Is there some 2Ks? Are these marked? Yes, they're marked. Oh, these are all 1Ks. Ooh, those are not marked. Let's hope those are all 1Ks. Oh, there's a 2K and there's a 2K. Good. Okay, we got two of those, and then we got one funny one, 5.1, and that looks like a 5.1. Okay, good. Everything else is 10K. We can do that. Oh, wait a minute, a 10K too. There's a couple oddballs here. 10K. Where's the 10K go? As long as it's marked, I'm okay loading everything else. Uh-oh. 2K. I don't know. Let's do the ones we know, and then we got process of elimination. Process of elimination. I wonder where that term came from in the beginning. Then you would just eliminate things, but no, there had to be a process involved. Okay. Where's our 5? Here's our 5. 5.1K. A lot like 51 ohms, but higher. Okay. Oh, there's the 10K right there. Good. I found him. He's up on end, which is kind of weird. Everything else is flat, but this one's up on end. So the way you do these up on end ones is there's a little circle and then there's a line. Little circle means that's where the body goes. So you take your resistor and you fold down one side into a little upside down U, okay? And the body goes where the little circle is, and the lead goes where the other part goes. Over there. All right. That would be the proper way. I don't want to get arrested. I've never been arrested. I've been frisked once. Never been arrested. Here's solder. I was a kid doing mischiefy things at Halloween, and we had some rotten vegetables, and eggs, and that kind of stuff. Police officer came by to see what we were doing. I didn't have anything on me, but I got frisked. My buddy, who had some eggs, got frisked and the eggs broke in his pocket. The cop did that on purpose, of course. And then he let us go. He was pretty cool. Okay. 1Ks. Let's do the 1Ks. Should be a short build. What's a good short story? God, I remember having to read short stories in English class. God, I hated this. Then Nevermore, Bricks. I don't know. I always had to read this short stories. Then we had to read long stories, which were worse. I was not an English major. No. I could never get the point of it. You know, it's really verbose, lengthy book about some dude, some old dude in a boat. And he just wants to catch a fish. And I mean, he's obsessed with the damn fish. I mean, give it up. I mean, there's lots of fish, right? No, he's got to stay out there because it's a fish. I got to get that fish. I don't know. Seems like a dumb story. Then they make you look at all the symbolism like that. Turtle on the road. Yeah, turtles are on roads. They have to cross the roads because humans built roads that screwed with their migratory patterns, and they have to go across the damn road. If there's any story to be told, it's man's impact on Earth. I don't know. But it's not literature. Science is not literature. Upside down. Oops. Oh, that's a good story to tell. I was watching some YouTubes earlier. I used to rock climb when I'd say I was a kid. Started rock climbing when I was in, God, how old was I? Junior high? I guess I was in junior high. Around 1970? Something like that. I don't know if rock climbing was really a sport back then. There were people climbing El Cap and stuff that was on the news. That's probably what interested me, you know. I remember saving up and buying a rope. I remember it was $19. I had spent $19 on a rope. It wasn't one of those fancy braided ropes. Those were like way over my price range. It was a twisted nylon rope called Gold Line. Just regular old twisted rope. And there were no real climbing shoes. I think Royal Robbins had some shoes, but no harnesses. Imagine that. Before harnesses, there was no harnesses. People would use things called swami belts. You would just wrap it around your waist, and that was it, man. When you fell, it like hit your diaphragm, and you couldn't breathe. That's just what we did, and that was just. I think some slackliners use swami belts still, but yeah, pretty crazy. My dad was a maintenance guy at the university, and of course he was nervous about his kid wanting to rock climb. I'm just a punk kid. He got some nice college kid who actually did some rock climbing. I think he came from the East Coast where it was more popular at the time, the Gunks or something. I don't know. And he taught me how to belay and got me started right. I climbed a lot. climbed from about 1970 to 1980, I guess. Maybe we'll put a picture here of me climbing in Yosemite. But the good story is my dad likes to tell the story. Well, my dad's dead, but used to like to tell this story. I think it was his favorite story about me. Is one day I don't know, could I drive? I don't know. I don't know if I didn't have a car for sure. I didn't have a car. I think I could drive, but my dad was driving me that day because dad wanted to be with son. And he was interested in the climbing and stuff because early on in his career, he did some rigging, some like bridge, high wire bridge type rigging and stuff. So he wasn't afraid of heights. And so he kind of encouraged me in the whole climbing thing. Anyway, he would come along once in a while. He wasn't going to climb. He was in his 50s, I think. And it's just stuck. There we go. He would rappel, though. I rigged him up, and he rappelled. He had a good time. That was really cool. The story is, a long time getting around to a story. The story is we went to the rock climbing spot we would always go to, and there was a rock kind of situated out in a field, kind of all by itself. I don't know why the rock structure was there, but there's this rock way out in this field. It was about about 150 foot tall rock, good for top roping type thing. And we had parked the car and we were walking up, and normally we would have taken one trail, but we took this other trail just because it kind of went through the meadow. It was a real nice day that day. And we turned the bend, and you could see the rock from when we got out of the trees. You could see the rock, and there was a climbing partner up on the rock, which there wasn't a lot of climbing people back then, but there was some. And so my eyes went on them immediately. Right, I'm walking along, looking straight up at the climbers up there, 100 feet off the ground, and so walking along the trail, which I've walked many times before. Walking along, and turned a corner, and there was a cougar right in the trail. Mountain lion right in the trail. And I was in the front. So I was in the front, my dad was in the back, and I think there was somebody else with us too. I think they were with my dad in the back. Must have been my belay partner or whatever. Anyway, so I'm in the front. Anyway, turned a corner, and there's this cougar. And the cougar comes up to me and stands on its back legs and puts one paw on my left shoulder and one paw on my right shoulder and looks me right in the eye. And it happened so quickly, I really didn't know what to do, which was probably a good thing. And then I hear the person up on the rock, 100 feet off the ground, yell down at me. Just knock him off. He won't hurt you. Somebody's pet. Okay. They just left him. I think he was maybe he was tied up, but he was in a little spot right next to the trail, so he could pop out and attack people. Anyway, like I said, we were taking a trail that wasn't used very often, so they probably thought it was pretty safe there. But anyway, the day I was attacked by a mountain lion and survived. I wouldn't call it an attack. It's more like a love fest. All right, are all of these transistors the same? I think they are. 50, 50, 50, 50. Anyway, Dad loved that story. Oh, this is a voltage regulator. Put him over here. Climbing is a weird sport. It's difficult because you need somebody. You can go climbing by yourself, I suppose, but most of the time you want to have a partner. Having a partner that's at your level and at your enthusiasm, and it's always available when you're available. It's a hard thing. It's hard to find somebody. So in my hometown, I could kind of find somebody to go with me, but I wanted to go to Yosemite. I mean, that's where all the big boys climbed, and I wanted to go to Yosemite. I would just go there by myself and then try to hook up with people, right? And just, like going skiing, single. I had some good experiences and some experiences. No bad experiences, just I don't know if I've told these stories before. I always tell too many stories, but climbed Lost Arrow Spire when I was there in Yosemite, and that was just because some pediatrician from England was in town, and he had come to Yosemite to do that climb, and he was in Camp 4 and was looking for somebody to go with him, and I'll go. I've got ropes, I've got G-Mars, I've got the equipment to do that climb, I've got the experience to do that climb. And we went out and did it. Oh, that's pretty cool. Nowadays, it's all high tech. Oh my goodness. You have friends. Oh, we didn't have friends. We had nuts. That was it, man. I mean, I was right. When I started climbing, I mean, people were mostly using pitons, and there was a big craze about the time I started climbing, the clean revolution. We were very proud when we could do a route clean, which meant using just nuts and not using pitons. And then all those high-tech gadgets came out. Friends, cams. Harnesses, fancy shoes, all that stuff, man. That was quite revolutionary. Nowadays, they change shoes depending on what climb they're doing. Oh, this climb needs these shoes. Oh, that climb needs these shoes. It's like, oh my goodness. And everybody climbs overhangs. It's like, oh my God, it's more to climbing than overhangs. I got two stuck together. Shoot. Nice thing about overhangs is when you fall, it's safe because there's nothing to whack into. Climbs I used to do, you fall, you're worried about hitting ledges, right? You hit a ledge, ow. I think people choose climbs because it feels like a rock climbing gym. They're all bolted, and I need to get rid of some extra solder here. I got some solder blob. Right there. There we go. Yeah, some of the climbing now would be considered cheating when I was climbing. They go on the route and they place all of the protection. They put slings on every single, usually bolt, and it's all slung up. And you just go up and clip in and you're done, right? And you don't have to hang around and find the right thing and hang on one finger while your other fingers are doing they make it too easy. It's just a different sport. I mean, no bashing against them. They're doing incredibly creative. God damn it. Got another blob here. They're doing crazy and hard things, but on the danger side of things, they've kind of eliminated it. They've kind of concentrated on the rock gymnastics part of it, which is fine. It's just a different sport. I remember interviewing this sounds like a story I've told before, but I'll tell it again. I remember interviewing a woman for a job. I was R&D manager, and I think she was an analog design engineer of all things, believe it or not. Not many of them around. And turned out she was a climber. And she'd climbed El Cap and other things. And of course, we were talking about climbing. And her deal was she wanted to have like 3 weeks off every year to go climbing. And I told her, forget it. Sorry. We need somebody full time. She liked climbing way too much. But I remember her talking to me about climbing, and I told her the stuff I used to do. And she treated me like I was a World War II veteran or something. Like, oh, I have a lot of respect for people of your age, doing those things without the protection and the ropes and stuff that we have today. It's like, it was nice that she acknowledged that it was a different time, but I also felt like an old fuddy-duddy. I was probably all of 40 years old at the time or something. Oh well. Put me in my place. The rock climbing. Let me start the camera over. The rock climbing video that I was watching was Alex Honnold and Tommy Caldwell do the nose route in under 2 hours, which is just nutso. And I'd seen videos of it before, but this one was the entire route. You could watch them do the entire route in stop animation kind of thing. Not stop animation, but a slowed down, sped up, whatever you want to call it. But you could watch them climb the entire thing, and so it was sped up. So you got the full 2 hours and 15 minutes or whatever it was, and then I slowed it down using the Google playback thing, so I could watch every single pitch and see what they were doing. They did some very, very clever things that I had never ever seen before. The way they navigated the pendulum pitch and the Great Roof. The Great Roof especially, they did a really weird thing on the Great Roof that I had never heard of before. They actually climbed the roof part way and then pendulumed over, which is just weird. Alex was leading that pitch. It was just really bizarre looking. The pendulum pitch was cool the way they did it. They both had the pendulum, which is interesting. And they had figured out how to shave off every ounce of time. Under 2 hours. It's pretty crazy. When I was climbing, a speed party would be 3 days. That would be really fast. Got too stuck together again, darn it. Be more careful. The solder mask, I guess, isn't quite aggressive enough on this one. I'd go to Yosemite and spend a couple of weeks there, and then go home and then come back to Yosemite and spend a couple of weeks. They had a rule about how long you could stay and camp for, but there was a workaround. You could only have the campground for a certain number of days. I think it was something like 5 days or something, but what you'd do is you would get it for 5 days, and then somebody else would get it for 5 days, but they'd let you stay on their property, right? They had their little plot of land, and you could get about 3 climbing partners on one plot of land. So you could cycle through the three groups and just stay there forever. Oh, there's always a way around the system. unless you're one of the big dogs. If you're one of the really big climbers, they had a special deal. You got to stay there as long as you wanted, as long as you volunteered for rescue work. So that was the deal. You got to stay, but you have to do rescues for free. All right, let's put in some 104s, our favorite. 104, 409, 409. What's that song? Hemi? Was it a Hemi 409? I forget. Somebody mentioned, I was talking about telescopic pointers for doing lecturing at a blackboard. Somebody said they had one, a pointer, and it said Chevrolet on it. Well, that's pretty cool. I told them that I was a Chevy guy. Back in my youth, I had a, well, not youth, like 30s. I guess that's still youth now. I had a Corvette. I had an 81 Corvette. Very cool car. I used to autocross it, used to drag race it. And after that, in the 90s, I think I had a 90, 91, 94, something like that, Camaro. Both of them were T-tops. They're nice cars. LT1 engines. Pretty fast cars. I took my Corvette to Bob Bondurant's race driving school. You could bring your own car. They would let you take your own car on the track, and took my Corvette on the Bob Bondurant track. Trashed it. Boiled the brakes dry one day. Yeah. Pretty scary driving your own car next to a brick wall. There's this one turn where you slide out of the turn right next to a big brick wall. Yikes. Okay, how are we doing here? Buzz. I'd say that's the buzzer. Buzz. I don't like buzzers. I don't think I'm going to put the buzzer on. I just don't like buzzers. I guess we'll put the LEDs on. Used to really enjoy autocrossing. That was fun. My Corvette was geared too high, though. It never got out of second gear. I think autocrossing, I might have just left it in first gear for some tracks, because it would do 50 miles an hour in first gear, 100 miles an hour in second gear, and 150 miles an hour in third gear. So, the time you lost shifting, you might as well just leave it in first and redline it for a second and come back down. I think drag racing, I never got it out of second gear. The only time I got it into third gear was being illegal somewhere. In Death Valley once. With my Corvette. Death Valley doing 100 and, I was probably doing about 125. Just cruising along, having a good time, nobody there. I looked over my shoulder. It was an F4 Phantom jet. Who would come down to take a look at my new shiny car? And I looked over, I could see him. He was close enough so I could see the guy. You know, waved at him. And he took off. About 5 minutes later, I thought I'd blown a tire out. There was this big bang, and my car shuddered. And I grabbed the steering wheel really tight, making sure I wasn't going to do anything dumb, right? Don't overcorrect. Just slow down the car, try to figure out what had happened. And then immediately, whoosh, this jet flew right past me. And it was the sonic boom. He had on purpose hit me with a sonic boom and scared the crap out of me. I'm sure he had a good time that day. Yeah, it's hot in the garage. Hot today. I think it was 97 today. Oh man, I bridged another couple of them. Jeez. Not good solder. Mask. Oops, my solder iron just timed out. Check the camera. We're okay. All right, let me get rid of my solder bridge. There. All right, how we doing? Almost there. Connector. Why is there two connectors? Why would we have two connectors? Is this like an output? Is this like the bomb detonator output? I don't know. Why does it have two connectors? Maybe using the regulator or not using the regulator? I don't know. That's weird. I'll check that out. Oh, put that one in the wrong spot. That's the right angle one's supposed to go there. Whoops. Oh well. We shall surgically remove it. Oh man, that didn't suck very good. Yeah. Ouch. Hot. It did come out. That's a good thing. All right. Put that one over here. Oops. Put that one over here. Try that again. There we go. Let's push these pins in a little further. Why not? I can do what I want. Well, that's pretty good. I've got too many videos. I've got like a month worth of videos all stacked up. I need to slow down. I don't know. Sometimes I'll do a couple videos in a single day and they just kind of pile up. There we go. And now we've got some individual LEDs here. Plus minus. Anode cathode. Anode cathode. The anode is the long-legged one. They're cut. One's shorter, one's longer. The longer one is the plus direction. There we go. Let's see here. I think I'll just jam those down. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. All right. I've said this before. I like to solder one side only, and then when I reach underneath and push, make sure they go flat to the board. I reheat those things while I'm pushing, and then they'll be nice and flush. And that one's not right. I could tell I let go too soon. Do that one again. There we go. You have to wait till it. Oh, geez, what's wrong with that one? Why don't it cool down? All right. Those are okay now. Double check. That one looks crooked. Bend them over. All right. Now you can solder the other side. If you solder them both down, there's no going back. All right. Jeez. Oh, damn it. I bridged those again. This thing is bridge prone. Let me reach underneath. Push it up. Did you see what I did there? Did something clever. So even though both sides are already soldered, you can put your soldering iron and heat both sides up at the same time, get them both hot, and it shoves in. So there is going back, I guess. I said there was no going back. It's always going back. All right. I think we're done. I think so. I think so. I really, really think so. All right, let's bend these leads. Proper technique on the bench. It is a AT 89C 2051-24 PU. PU. All right. So I say we should just make a clip to that thing. I'm going to surgically modify it so I can clip leads onto it. There we go. All right. I guess it's 5 volts. Let's try 5 volts. Oh, that's a regulator. So we need 7 volts. I think, well, let's do it 5 volts first. I'm not sure which side I'm on the regulator, if it's which side you're supposed to put it on. I think this is right. I think the volts go over here. Yeah, that looks right. Go up to 7 volts. That's right. Yeah, that looks right. There we go. Can you see that? Whoa. We have a clock. Yay. Pretty exciting, huh? Clock. Then there's some buttons that do things. Anyway, it's a clock. There you go. Look at that. You can set things. Cool. You can write your own program, put your own chip in there, and make it into a bomb timer. That'd be a really nice bomb timer for making movies. You always have to have fake bomb timers for movies, right? Countdown. Have it flash and stuff. That'd be good. Okay, so what do I think about the kit? I think it's a great beginner's kit. It's all through hole. It's all well marked. Easy to build. It actually does something. It does require you to have some volts someplace, but you could have some batteries, I guess. Probably even will work on 12 volts. That little regulator might get too hot. I'm not sure. Probably doesn't draw a lot of current. So it's drawing, yeah, it's drawing 40 milliamps right now. Let me take it up to 12 volts and see what happens, just for fun. If you put 12 volts into it, does the regulator get hot? I do not feel the regulator getting hot. How come my clock's not running? I have to push some buttons. Uh-oh, did I over? There we go, the clock's running. Yeah, clock's running, okay. Is the regulator getting hot? No. And it's drawing 30 milliamps at, oh yes it is. Oh. Regulator's getting hot. Okay, don't do that. Don't do 12 volts. 7 volts is good. 7 volts. And then if you want to make this thing look really pretty, you need to put a piece of red plastic in front of it, which I don't have any red plastic. But if you put some kind of contrasting material in front of it, then it looks better. And red is what you want. If you have a red display, you want to have red red acrylic plastic to make the window out of, and that makes it look really nice. But I don't have any. I can't show it to you right now. But trust me, trust me. Put red plastic in front of it. It'll look really good. All right, there you go. Equikit. If I have a link, I'll put it down below.